everyone. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's doing well. We're gonna continue from day 2 of the trial today. I guess we'll see what happens. Apparently, the mysterious, really shady guy is saying that we need to get our client acquitted in 1 day of trial. But I don't know, maybe it'll get extended. Maybe we'll be able to do it. But we'll need to be super careful with our options here because apparently the options you make during court will affect if you get like a good ending or a bad ending. So I will be doing lots of saves this stream. I'll be like, oh shoot, this question seems kind of important. Maybe I should do my 10th save. But we will see. We'll see what the prosecution wants to argue, but we will have Francisco Von Karma again. But maybe Edgeworth will be watching us from the audience? Let's see if I can smell his nerve. Is it a very strong nerve that he has? Hello, Alpha. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. How are you? Sorry, I was just looking at that. You think he's suspicious? I made Korean rice cakes earlier, and I didn't finish them. So I have a bowl of them right now. So if I occasionally go quiet in the stream, it's because I'm finishing up my rice cakes. The packs they always come in are like so big. They give you like a pack with like 40 of them or something per serving. And then I'm like, oh gosh, how much should I allocate? It seems like a lot. Justice for all! Hello, Bacon. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. How are you? We will be doing Justice for all. Does that include Matt as well? Does that include him? I gotta channel like my surfer bro voice. I gotta channel the mentality. I'm a surfer bro down by the beach. Adrian did it. That's what it looks like. Dude, no way. That woman couldn't do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. A mountain of evidence? I'm certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer. Dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. I understand. Well, it's almost time. Ooh, Mia's here! Mia, we must get a complete acquittal today. I know, but I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed, well, let's get going. Hey, so just a reminder, you gotta get him acquitted. I'm watching you. Hello, Bloody Master. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. Let me do a shout out for you. There we go. How are you? Evening, everyone. Hello, Cranium. Evening. How are you? Thank you so much for stopping by today. Oh, I just moved some wires. Let me... Okay, I'm back. I moved my computer a little bit like farther from where the wires were, and then the little wire box started like falling down, and I was like, oh, let's not have that. Let me just like put it right over here. We should be good now. Oh, this case. Oh, did you like this case, Dusum? Hello, Dusum. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. How are you? All right, this guy, of course. The Power Ranger core guy. He is as refreshing as the spring breeze. Doing well myself. Hope everyone is having a good night. Yay, I'm glad you're doing well. I'm doing good too. And you're going through this game a lot faster than I did. Oh, really? Which case would you say is the hardest for you? Or was the hardest for you? Stream Shake. Oh, thank you so much for the 5 Stream Shake, Alpha. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I think the first 2 cases for me weren't too bad. Like, I feel like for the second one, I kind of predicted that it was actually like the nurse that did it pretty early on, so it became a little easier because of that. But the third one, I did the whole entire third one, and I was like, I'm still confused, but like, okay. The third one was a ride. Oh my gosh! Oh, thank you so much for redeeming the VIP, Alpha. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Let me get that set up for you right now. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Steak? Steak? What kind of... How do you guys like your steak? I like my medium rare. Well, it's always the last case, but the one I hate the most is the DLC game case for game 1 because that blue badger still has our trees. When they go, hey, so let's take a look at that footage again. I'm like, hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to see the blue badger again. Dun, 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 dun. Let me set this up real quick. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Ooh. Do do do. Do 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 do. Do do do. Do 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 do. Do do do. Okay. There we go. Is it showing up for you now, Alpha? Basic medium. I haven't had medium filet mignon in forever now that you mention it. Ooh, it's time to get some. This is a sign. Hello, CB. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. How are you? I just want to punch a hole through that thing. You're like, oh, it's him again. I can't stand this guy. And then meanwhile, you have Gumshoe like continuously try to sell you the vision. He's like, he's so cute, isn't he? I mean, the little thing in front, it's like, no, Gumshoe, he's not cute anymore. I think he committed the murder, actually. The badger's promoting safety. He's always there as a reminder, as a symbol that the police department's got your back. Same, honestly. Ooh. Let me see. Hello? Oh yeah, it's showing up on my side, Alpha. Speaking in one person who liked the blue badger. It's a little cute, but after doing that case, you're like, I have feelings about this thing. You know, like, not entirely positive ones. Pink Jam, yeah, VIP! Thank you so much for the support, Alpha.
Good morning. Remember, I have Maya. This is it, Mr. Attorney, the day of the trial.
Maya, she's unharmed, right?
Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall I say, tired. Don't worry, people don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial.
That guy's totally capping. He had that pause right there. He's trying to still get Phoenix to do his bidding, but she's out here somewhere. She's gonna find us.
Grr. For my sake as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning.
A present? What in the world would you want to give to me? No way this guy, like, cut Maya's hair and sent it to us?
You'll figure it out once the trial starts, and even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please.
Wait! Kidnapper sent me a present? Mr. Lawyer Dude? Who was that?
No one. It has nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything.
Dude, did your nose just get longer? No, I think his nose has always been this long. Because I like how uncanny he is, and also Gumshoe made him so it feels like I'm hating on Gumshoe's Gumshoe. It's really sweet how, like, into it Gumshoe is, though. So I can entirely, you know, like, hate it, because Gumshoe tried really hard on it, you know? If you find the Blue Badger did, there's no case it's gonna be obvious who did. Do some! How could you? Gumshoe's gonna be so sad! He's outlived his usefulness. Also good. Been learning DaVinci Resolve and has been playing God Eater 2 Rage Force and having Lancelot in Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising. Ooh, fun! How's DaVinci Resolve going for you? Is it hard? Lying like Pinocchio? Yeah, he's like, Mr. Lawyer, I think you've been lying a lot recently. Yeah, where's Francisca? She's not even there. What's going on?
Court is now in session for the trial of Matt Engard. Are the prosecution and defense ready?
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Well, it seems the prosecution is not ready.
I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma?
I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me?
Your Honor, please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it?
Prosecutor Von Karma has... This morning, Miss Von Karma was... Oh, shoot! She was shot by an unknown gunman? Is that the president? Oh my gosh! Bro, this is illegal! So like... What? Somehow I think this is the present that man was talking about. Like, if the client was truly innocent, why would you need to shoot the prosecutor, you know? I'm starting to have my doubts about Matt. Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage. This is totally insane. I'm glad Edgeworth's not prosecuting for this case. Oh my gosh. Imagine coming back from vacation and the first thing you do and your first case is get shot.
Miss Von Karma, is she alright? I don't have that answer.
She's alive and in stable condition.
That's good. Phew.
You're... I thought he'd show up. Hi, Edgeworth! I'm glad she's doing alright.
Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Miss Francisca Von Karma cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place.
Oh, he's back! Oh my gosh! The gift was allowing Edgeworth to appear. I do hope Francisca's okay, though. I hope she wasn't, like, shot anywhere, like, fatal.
The prosecution is ready, naturally.
Edgeworth's the type of guy who never takes a single day off. Like, he never uses his PTO. That's why when he used his PTO for the first time to go on his, like, half-year soul searching, everyone was like, he's gotta be dead. He's never taken vacation days ever. Wait, it's Edgy, it's him! I'm surprised there's no fan-made case of the Blue Badger because I know some people want him dead. Oh no! It's complicated, but I've been managing. Can't edit 3 to 4 hour long VODs though. Ooh, Galaxy! That's messed up. You have to know some people win by any means necessary. You should have learned this from the prosecutors the last game. Guys, where's the law and order? We gotta get that guy arrested! He shot Francisca Von Karma, he kidnapped Maya. This guy's gotta go to jail. Edgy boy, welcome back, Edgeworth! He returns, he's not dead, yippee! You know, I'm kind of like shocked by all the stuff that gets like passed over in Ace Attorney. Like somehow the last case they were able to smuggle a bust in the guy's wheelchair. Like somehow security just did not search his wheelchair, I guess. And now Francisca Von Karma got shot? Miss Von Karma was shot in the right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. I guess that means he can't help us anymore then. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt Engard.
The court acknowledges the prosecution. Right, I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. by the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution will like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. Gumshoe always looks like he doesn't want to be here. He's like, bro, I was eating my $1 discount cup ramen.
Yeah, the Law and Ace Attorney world is crazy, yeah. Do any of you remember the Ace Attorney anime and how crazy hard the openings were? Oh, I haven't watched the anime! I just know there's that one scene where like Phoenix is like biking or something and there's like a bunch of cherry blossoms.
Witness your name and occupation. My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct. For now. Oh no, for now? For now? After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir. Oh no, Gumshoe! Detective Gumshoe. The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes, sir! Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight. Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent.
At least we don't get whipped, guys!
The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth.
Bare facts of the case. He's going into shock seeing Edgeworth back. I think it's sweet that Edgeworth tries to like encourage him. That his way of trying to encourage Gumshoe to be like less sad is like, hey, I have no need for a depressed witness. Chin up, Gumshoe.
This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Corridor, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder.
Did anyone document that this guy didn't have his guitar with him? I hope this answer is giving Gumshoe better payment. 100%. Like, he went soul searching for like 6 months and he's like, maybe I was too mean to Detective Dick Gumshoe. Maybe I'll surprise him at the end of this case by giving him a promotion instead.
After the awards ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room? Yes, sir. Both the victim and defendant went alone to the room, sir. I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Oh, did you guys see the little video that the official Ace Attorney Twitter quote retweeted? It was like, the original video was somebody playing the investigations game and having like Gumshoe walk around with a metal detector in circles around Edgeworth. And then I think the official Ace Attorney Twitter posted a picture of Edgeworth and said he's looking for his salary. And your Twitter account, so no, if I can try to find a picture of it again, and then I can send it later. I have vivid memories of Game 3, but I'm pretty sure Gumshoe doesn't appear. Because, like you said, after this case, he's no longer a detective. Wait, really? Like, he actually gets laid off? Wait, then will we ever see him again? Yeah, unfortunately, slicing a 1.07 gigabyte VOD and 4.40 gigabyte VOD together and adding in a small transition produces a 2.49 terabyte MP4 file, apparently. Dang! Oh my gosh, that's such a big file! Oh, I seen that. Oh man, that was unexpected. Yeah, me with no salary. Can we open up like a new police department and just put Detective Dick Gumshoe in charge, please? I feel so bad. How is he gonna pay? Like, for his rent? For his food? Bro, he's cup noodles every day and they're gonna lay him off? Like, I'm sure it doesn't cost that much to keep him around. They're probably paying him like $5 an hour. I don't even have Twitter for my own good. That's fair. There's so many things that go on Twitter. Like I said, have vivid memories of Game 3, so take my message with a grain of salt. Ah. I hope there's some way we can bring him back. Like, maybe after Game 3 seems early. Like, I guess I would understand in the Apollo Justice games if he was, like, gone. Because maybe, like, because Apollo Justice is your main, like, defense attorney, there'll be, like, a whole new, like, cast. But I still have Twitter, I just don't post there anymore. Ah.
This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes Awards, sir. Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony? Okay, pal, the ceremony started at 6. It ended around 8, and then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later. And that's when the victim's body was found, correct? Which is to say, the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period. Please continue with your testimony, detective.
Let me actually, like, look at the evidence I have, because it's been a week. So we have Nickel Samurai poster. Press conference thing. He was apparently supposed to have a confession after the post-ceremony show, but bro didn't even know about it. And then DKLR. And then Lada's camera. That was stolen, so maybe that's like, if we can find this, there's evidence, somebody stole it. Magazine clipping. That Juan Corridor is getting close to the manager lady, Adrian Andrews, and then hotel guide map. So the rooms are across from each other. And then empty guitar case that only has water on top, which is very strange. And a wine glass with tomato juice that never got drank from. It looks like the guitar case is wet because the vase fell down. But if the inside is not wet and only the outside is, that means his guitar was probably present and then the case was closed and then somebody went ahead and stole it. And this is like the correlation on why Adrian Andrews tried to get close to Juan Corridor, because she believes that her mentor, Celeste Impacts, like, went through something as Corridor's manager, and that's why she... Yeah, obviously I couldn't download that, so I had to do the messy alternative and upload the VOD separately. Ooh. Good luck with your editing, CV! Check each of them, there could be something. Let's ask everything. Yeah, let's ask everything.
The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Yeah. Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about? She's the defendant, Matt Engar's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir. Ah, so she's a pretty lady. I hope I get to see her today. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence. Hey, Phoenix Wright, establish a correlation so I can see her in person.
The judge just always has his eyes open whenever a pretty girl is mentioned, I guess.
When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. Ongard. After visiting his room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir. I see, so that's when she found the victim's body.
Cause of death. Wasn't that because Mr. Corridor was stabbed in the chest?
Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now, a real pro's attention would be drawn here to his bandana. Banana. His bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir. Ah, yes, I do know what a bandana is.
His banana scented bandana! I think it's lunchtime for Udgy.
Then what about the knife? It seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death.
So, if you were to take the knife and stab the guy there, it's such a big, like, round piece, right? Wouldn't you notice if it was, like, there afterwards? Like, if it was there and then you stabbed the guy and then the thing, like, fell down, wouldn't you notice that it was gone because it's so big? Like, you would know it would have fallen somewhere, right? So you would, like, I don't know, try to hide it or something? Or maybe it was intentional, like, the murderer, like, made that thing fall and then, like, planted it in Matt Ungard's, like, outfit where it was found later on.
We have a crafty murder on our hands here.
Strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. Yikes. I want to revisit that, actually. This part seems very important. I'm gonna take a look at this again. Oh, yeah. That bandana does look very tight on him. And then somebody took that knife from On Guard's room and tried to frame him with it. Okay, why do you think that? Because it was empty, pal. Jammin' Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar, and we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime.
Oh, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that?
We thought of that too, but if you were a fan, why would you kill the guy, you know? But the only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. But somebody could have worn gloves. Only the victims, huh?
I see. So much for my theory.
There's some water, but only on top of the lid. It only has Corridor's fingerprints. Sir, that is a scarf, or at least an escort. Bandana? Bandana? Is it a bandana or a scarf? Ladder, step ladder debate. Discuss. I didn't count on strangulation. Right? Because when I saw the picture, like, for the first time, right? I thought, like, I didn't think too much of it. Because it didn't look like he was strangled by it. It looks like that's just a part of his outfit. So I thought he actually just got stabbed. So, you see, Gumshoe should get a promotion for noticing that. Because I did it. Get my guy a promotion, please. I was coming at the judge, but sure. Oh. Sir, that is a scarf. That's not a banana. Would convince you I had nothing to do with the case. The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night.
Well then, where was it?
Bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. Oh. The victim, Juan Corridor, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir. Why? Why, though? I guess he didn't want to bring the actual guitar because it was heavy.
So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case?
Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel. Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all. It had nothing to do with the case, the guitar case. Or so we thought. I do feel like it must be relevant. I believe this is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt On Guard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him. Here it goes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing.
Very well, Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Relia. Hello, Zarfus. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. Let me do a shout out for you. Nibigo, how are you? So how's the guitar case not connected?
I feel like it is connected, but it's not something we discovered just yet. Because I think the biggest disparity that I'm thinking of right now with the guitar case is there's water only on the top of the lid. But when we discovered it, the lid was flipped up. So if you went in to kill, like, Corridor, why would you bother with the guitar case unless there was something important in that guitar case? Like, you would want to just get out of there, right? Like, you wouldn't, like, try to rummage through his stuff unless there's something relevant. So there's got to be a connection there. Sure, that Gumshoe is underpaid and underappreciated talent incarnate. Yeah, he's a little bit, like, messy, but, you know, he does things out of the kindness of his heart, you know? We would be getting innocent people thrown in jail if it weren't for Gumshoe giving us all these tidbits. So actually, for the greater good of the Ace Attorney universe, he's actually doing us all a really good favor. Thank you for the shout out, of course! Oh, thank you so much for the stretch bacon. I stretch. I'm gonna eat some rice cakes while I watch this part. Matt Ungard and Juan Corridor were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the Chairman Ninja's button. It was ripped off of the ninja costume and was found in Mr. Ongard's Akama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. But he didn't! It was for eating his steak! I'm gonna have to object to that. You see, if you were to kill somebody, though, like, why would you leave your fingerprints on there? The fingerprints were there because he was eating the T-bone steak. So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing. It was kind of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir. It's sticky because the guy was eating ribeyes. And he probably used his hands to eat it, too. Gate water. So if it's gate water, he didn't buy it. That was like a hotel knife. What does Gumshoe mean by he bought it? Take a trophy for your kills? I don't know. Dang, that's extra. Especially how big a guitar is. Like, that must have not been easy to get out of that hotel room. And a copy of the receipt properly. Oh. I guess we'll see. And there's this button. That was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And is this button also covered in blood? Yes, and we know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir. What? Yeah, he's getting set up. All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it? Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right? I'll find the hole in your argument somehow. You can press as hard as you like, just hurry up with your usual pointless questions. I like how they really explicitly make Edgeworth say you can press as much as you like. After the last case, it's like, oh, I don't want to press anymore. I'm so glad Edgeworth is back. He's like, yeah, press on everything. I'm not going to penalize you like Ron Carmel will. In terms of popularity, Mr. Ongar won, did he not? Yeah, but you know what's ironic, pal? Juan Cordo was always one step behind Mr. Ongard and everything. Wouldn't you say that Juan Cordo has more of a motive than Mr. Ongard? This year it seemed like he'd finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown. But Mr. Corridor lost the Grand Prix in the end. That is too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing. Wait just a second here. Mr. Ongard was beating Mr. Corridor in the popularity polls. Well, yeah, I guess, but... Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all. Yes, I quite agree. Well, detective, it's not, well, I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive. Hey, stop putting your opinion in! Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired. No! No, not you two! Mr. Edgeworth, sir, that's... I look forward to your pension negotiations. No, detective, let's continue with the testimony. Sniffle, no, not my poor pension too. No, they're digging into his pension too. Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed. Yes, sir. We can talk about my pension later, sir. What about... What was I saying? Hello? Anyone? Oh, poor Gumshoe. But if the knife is hotel property, that's gonna pose an issue. Yeah, the fact that it has gate water on it, that's hotel property, so... I guess we'll see what Gumshoe says about it being bought previously? Because that seems really extra, you know? Like buying a knife and then like printing the gate water on it. And in that case, you can argue that any other knife would have worked. Because that knife looked exactly like the one that Adrian Andrews had on her plate. So what's the point of buying a knife? Do you have any point, or do you have any proof that the button belonged to the victim? What do you mean, pal? Oh, let me put it this way. I'm asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off of the Jamming Ninja's costume. Oh, but can't you tell by just looking at it? And the victim's blood is on it. Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterwards. Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir! Alright, I knew it had to be this piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in. Thread. Huh? The button was attached to the customized thread, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match.
Yeah, that's it. They're a perfect match, pal.
Oh, that's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat.
You know what else poses an issue? Maya currently kidnapped. Yeah.
I wonder if Maya's gonna appear like later in the case because she escaped. When was this button found? Pretty soon after the body was found. We rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Corridor. Then we did a search on the mall. That's when we found the button.
So it was almost immediately after the murder.
The police didn't have free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people. Hey, what is he trying to say about me here? How are the fingerprints arranged on the knife?
Huh? What do you mean, pal?
By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand? Oh, is that what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that. I can't believe the bumbling of this department. Oh, please, were you paying attention to the testimony, right? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There is no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder.
So is the defendant the owner of this knife then?
I think it's this statement. This one is suspicious. There's no way this was a premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife.
Sorry, pal. This isn't some pocket knife. It isn't fold, so it's not great for walking around with either.
Oh, well, this is not good. If the prosecution can prove it was a premeditated murder, we're done for. Phoenix. Yes, there's something very interesting about what the detective said just now. Think carefully before it's too late. Button covered in victim's blood and a knife with on-guard's fingerprints. Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing. We're still in a world of trouble. Well, before you battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So let's find the weakness in his testimony, no matter how small it may be. Okay, Phoenix? The first two prove that he doesn't really have a motive. They did find that it was ripped off. Gatewater. Gatewater is the name of the hotel. There's something about the knife that Gumshoe told it. Yeah, and it would make sense that it's like all over the place because when you're gripping the knife, when you're like cutting the steak, sometimes you go, oh, my hand's kind of cramping, and you like adjust it. So if it's all over, like, you know, he must be using that knife for a while? Yeah, it's not the button. The button can't just move anything. I think it's the knife. Wait a second. What? So the basis of your argument is that this was a premeditated murder. Is simply that my client bought the knife beforehand? That's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife. Huh? Take a good look at the handle of this knife and you'll see what I'm talking about. Huh? It has a Gatewater seal set into the handle. Gatewater? I think I've heard that name somewhere before. That's the name of the hotel, the Gatewater Hotel. Uh-oh. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated.
Yes, that is very true. This is a very big... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this. Oh, but I didn't know. Oh, Luther. The question is, where did this knife come from?
Well, why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Corridor's room.
Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect.
The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table.
It's his own knife.
There is a knife and a fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from? If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Martongo. Especially what was on top of his table. There is something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife? We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matangard's knife was missing. Ugh. Mr. Ongard had gone to the victim's room with a knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder. Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction.
Seems like Edgeworth had this plan from the very beginning. This must be one of his traps, and I just walked headlong into it.
A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here. I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court.
Evidence not yet shown? It means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence.
What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Well...
Please, the judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here, the gavel of his will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat.
Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to this court?
So yeah, Maya's kidnapped? I'm sorry, Gumshoe. Feels bad, man. Yeah, new music! Something that was not yet brought up to the court. We have a few items that have not been brought up yet. But this one is not relevant. I think it might be too early to present, like, the suicide report. I wonder if it's the camera. And just be like, yeah, well, we don't know for certain until we find this camera, and then we'll be able to see the exact moment it happened. Wrong move or something will happen? Oh no! I forgot to save before this! Ah! Oh wait, I can still go back. Okay, we're gonna do a save. This is one of those, huh, where if he favors the prosecution too much, then we'll end up getting a game over. Okay, I'm gonna eat a few rice cakes and we'll do a thing. I'm gonna say no, not right now, though. He might call it in favor of the prosecution. I don't think it's relevant to say he didn't even know about the post-ceremony stage show. But this part really clearly seems like he's being framed because he didn't know that he had to confess something, but somebody set him up to confess something right after the other guy dies. So they're trying to really push that he did it. We'll lose full HP if we pick wrong. Oh man, game over, huh? That sounds accurate. Yeah, I feel like the only thing that seems like it would be important in this moment is Lada's camera. Where we say, hey, Your Honor, actually, I can show you, like, more evidence and definitive proof if you find out where Lada's camera went. And then we can reconvene court afterwards. I feel like everything else is, like, later in the case. It doesn't seem relevant right now. Or the transceiver. I feel like the transceiver is more like Maya being kidnapped, though. I don't know if it would be relevant enough for this current case for it to be brought up. You think it's the wine glass? I don't know what the connection of the wine glass will be, to be honest. Because it's filled with tomato juice and no sign it's been drank. So it could be that he poured himself some and he never got around to drinking it, but it didn't like tip over. Was the wine glass? That was on the little table, right? Or was that on the big table? Oh no, it was on the little table next to the victim. So the weird thing was everything was scattered, but the wine glass wasn't tipped over. So that's also a little suspicious, which means that along with the guitar case, this was planted after the murder. They planted the wine glass right there after the murder, and then they flipped the guitar case open. Yeah, this was tricky. Hello, really, attorney. hello, Caleb. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. How are you? Oh, let me do the hydrate. I have hydrated. Let me need to think, don't pick it. Okay. I'll go over the options again. So, he's asking for something important and necessary to present to this court. So, this is not relevant. What this would infer is he had something to confess. So, if you really stretch the truth, you could say he wasn't even aware of that. Somebody was setting him up. But I feel like that doesn't follow the train of logic right now. The transceiver is mainly just saying that Maya got kidnapped, but it's not really relevant to the Matt Ungard case as much. Lada's camera was stolen on the night of the murder, and there's something about the part that makes me think is the tabloid article about the victim. So maybe the perpetrator wanted that tabloid article about the victim, and that's why he was trying to hide that. So maybe that's a little bit farther in the case. This is the article, so maybe it would be like, what important thing got stolen? This thing! What was inside? This thing! So maybe that's too early? But we already presented the guitar case. His murder scene... Oopsie. We have seen the... We have seen this before. Yeah, all his lotions and everything are on the floor except for the glass. It's a little weird. You would think that's the first thing that's knocked over. It's a little too early for these. And then we got the knife, that is new. So actually thinking about the ones that haven't been presented right now, Lada's camera seems good, but the fact that it says the tabloid article about the victim makes me think that it probably has a connection later on in the case. So maybe it might actually be the wine glass. The fact that there's something strange about it, because they're saying that there's nothing weird about the guitar case, because they found the guitar, but nobody has brought up that the wine glass is a little bit weird because it didn't tip over. So I guess in this case, the wine glass is probably our best one then. Relevant and not yet shown inside court for this case at this point. And they also showed the picture of like the crime scene. So that would be at like the right point in the story for us to present it. There's tomato in the picture. Oh, you mean like the bottle? Yeah, like the bottle that was poured out and then the glass. I think it's the wine glass. Yeah, I think it has to be the wine glass. The wine glass is probably our best bet. So actually I do... It's gotta be the wine glass then. There's one piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see.
Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance, and only one.
Ooh, so if I get this one wrong, it's also game over.
What the judge is saying, right, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here.
If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us.
Oh my gosh!
The whole HP bar! Remember last case where it was like, if you make Mo crack a joke, you're losing all your lives? Same energy, but stakes are higher here.
You may now present one and only one piece of evidence. Now then, what is this important evidence that you must show to the court?
So actually, the wine glass here is a little suspicious. Yay, it's right!
This is a wine glass, is it not?
Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser.
Well, yes, I see your point.
However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do you all have to say?
Ah, well, yes, it is a little peculiar.
Yes, isn't it? I thought it was.
But stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth?
What is it, Your Honor?
Your opinion?
You don't need my opinion, because there is no special meaning to that glass. Then why is it not tipped over? You telling me the assailant drank some tomato juice afterwards, or didn't even drink any? He just poured some out? For the scent of it? It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. But the person who discovered the body, Hadrian Andrews, for example, she could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking.
That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright.
But why would she? I don't know, guys. If you stumbled across somebody you knew and you found out they were murdered, would you go to the fridge and pour out a glass of tomato juice first thing? I don't think that sounds very plausible. Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? I don't think that makes sense.
I just told you that one move and we gave over.
Dang, for like every single one, huh?
That's crazy.
Maybe? She was so in shock. She was like, I gotta pour myself a good glass of tomato juice in honor of him. Do that calmly finding a dead body, right? Like, if I stumbled across, like, a crime scene, the first thing I do is probably freeze and go, oh my gosh, call 911, and then I'd, like, get my phone and try to call 911 and be like, I found a guy, you know? Or, I feel like some people would just, like, freeze, and they wouldn't be able to move because they're so shocked. Like, the top two things that would happen, I feel, to most people, upon stumbling upon a crime scene, is calling 911 or freezing because they're so panicked. It doesn't make a lot of sense for someone to just pour a glass of tomato juice. I don't think she did it. It doesn't make sense. Maybe thinking something there's my low blood pressure is no joke. She's like, oh wow, man, I'm really feeling it. This is such a shock. You know, I think I'll feel a little bit better after taking some tomato juice. I feel so much better now. Okay, time to notify some people. I think it's a there's no way, honestly. I'm always a little bit suspicious of Ace Attorney though, because wait until I say there's no way, and then Edgeworth roasts me and it's game over, and it's like, wait, it's possible? 5-year week here, the trial is over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct and point with certainty. They just might fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table.
You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim?
There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing. Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it. What? He has evidence? You're not thinking hard enough today, right? Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice? Then... Of course, it has been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints. Fingerprints? There was only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass. Only one? Well, whose were they? They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were of Adrian Andrews. What? Huh? What if it was on another table and then, I don't know, somebody moved it over? To confuse the crime scene a bit? Found next to the victim, it's filled with tomato juice, bears Andrew's fingerprints. That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright? But what's the purpose of doing that? Oh, I can't believe I fell into another trap. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Corridor. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser.
What you just said makes a lot of sense.
Now, do you see, right? You can't change any part of my scenario, as it explains everything all too well. I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover.
Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict.
Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. Another witness?
Yes, bailiff, please bring in the next witness.
What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? Is it Lotta Hart?
Oh my gosh! It's her again!
Yeah, Miss Andrews can do that, right? You know, the way Edgeworth presents it makes a lot of sense, though. The fact that she brought him in class and was like, oh my gosh. But the thing is, though, is the tomato juice wasn't even in another room. Like, doesn't he have a bunch of tomato juice in his fridge? It makes more sense that she got it from that fridge. Maybe they need something in their stomach. Low blood pressure is their joke. Me upon finding a random course. Nope, I'm not gonna bother with this. I'm out. Yeah, I'd just be like, oh my gosh, let's get some medical attention in here. Oh my gosh, I hope the guy's okay. Well, I guess in this case he's not, but... Mega Man? It's all bag! Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Raygun! Raygun gets its own speech bubble. Gotcha! I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier. Wedge boy, it's been what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me. I saw the report with their testimony, but who knew that under that helmet was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand? Wait, she has a ring on her ring finger! Olbach's married! Olbach, what are you doing? You're a married woman! Oh boy, Edgeworth!
I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm gonna tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime scene.
Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know.
Shush! I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgy right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps.
Yes, madam. No. Please, by all means, interrupt her. Please, I'm begging you, Judge. Your Honor, please. Anyway, witness your testimony, please.
It's true what they say, that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with?
Witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag?
It was a great job being able to see my Dairy One.
Wait, lock in. I'm putting my bowl down. Gotta lock in with this impersonation.
Not too many channel points over here.
Oh! Oh, thank you so much for redeeming the VIP bacon. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I'll get that all set up for you right now.
Thank you.
Okay, there we go.
Did husband, I guess? Probably. I guess she's scouting now.
It was a great job being able to see my Dairy One. That was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean you were a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone's crazy over that on guard, saying he's cute or a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say something so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him.
They're the same age? Hello? They're the same age? Oh, Olbach, he's also quite young.
I'm only interested in a real man, Juan Corridor.
two were the same age.
Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of its room that night.
Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder.
Leave it to me, Ajipu.
Jibu. All right.
Yippee-doo! There it is! Yippee! Thank you so much for the s'more bacon! How old is Edgeworth, might I ask? I think he's like 25 in this game. Yeah, he's 25.
Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around the hallway in front of his room. It was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. As someone showed up, there was a man coming out of my poor Juan's room. I was on guard, on guard, trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
Or did you see someone dressed as On Guard? Like, what if On Guard was, like, taking a shower? Didn't he say he was, like, resting? Did he take a nap? So someone could have stolen his outfit, you know? Just like the other Steel Samurai would, and dressed up as him and killed the guy instead?
Way younger than Old Bag, that's for certain.
I think Old Bag has, like, a mystery age. Yeah, she's question mark. She looks like 80 years old to me.
So Miss On Guard came.
Not the Old Bag voice.
So Mr. On Guard came out from the victim's room.
Say it has to be him. He's the murderer.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Miss Old Bag, what was your post on that night?
Lobby, I was supposed to help set up the stage for the trifling show, but I refused to help. How do you know? It was for that lead-headed samurai show. Heh, I even took out a few of the nails.
Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on.
Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me, so I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little.
And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door? Something you were interested in, and just what was that?
It's not some little thing I can go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret between me and Juan. And, Ejipu, of course.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in? I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor.
Gossip. It's gotta be this, right?
But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to her testimony later.
Looks like we should enforce that right now.
And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time?
Oh, then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Corridor's room?
I have no idea. I wasn't born so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am.
That makes a lot of sense that her age is question mark now. So like, if she stopped keeping track when she was 20, did she ever know she was 21 to drink alcohol?
Yes, well, that would explain why your age wasn't included in the report. In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct?
Who in the world was that?
I'm not allowed to say. The certain information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. Man that came out of Juan's room, he was.
Yes, he was.
I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud.
Oh, what I wouldn't give to have Francisca's whip right about now.
Well, I guess I could tell you since he was such a bad boy anyway.
You saw my client? Are you sure about that?
Yeah, see?
Really?
And I'm brat. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person.
Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail.
What a troublesome man you really are. Really, as if something like that matters.
But it does.
What was that? Yes, well, that thing. The gaudy thing is I was wearing the racing jacket.
So how did it end up in his hakama then? He was wearing that at the detention center too.
Things went for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Man.
Right. So, Mr. Wright, was his testimony just now important or relevant?
I think it's important. I think it's important.
Of course it was important, Your Honor. Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of the testimony was important. Oops. Don't you see it, Edward? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony. I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright, witness, please.
Well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must.
Yeah, I think the fact that he was wearing his flashy racing jacket is what's strange, because then how did it end up in the Hakama then, if he was the one that killed the guy? Did she at least remember her date of birth? Right? Because, like, she may have forgotten her age, but she's got to know when she was born, right? And then we can do some math. Some details from her felt extremely arbitrary, but is important regardless. Yeah, I wonder if I should actually go back to the other points and see what she says. I do feel like the outfit's the most important. She probably didn't see his face. Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket?
What do you think? It's not like I've seen him in anything other than a horrible thing. I'm sure he was wearing it.
She's so sure of herself that it's to the point of self-absorption. She might not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying.
That's bad for us, really bad.
But that's how the human mind is. It also has a tendency to jump off topic. She's strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time too, hasn't she? That's what makes her a sweet old lady, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I would call her a sweet old lady. That's because you're not the one who has the questioner.
I want to see what she says about the other stuff. Oh! Oh! Wait, they don't let me change it now! So maybe that was the right one? Or I hope so? Yeah, it's not letting me change it anymore. Uh-oh. So hopefully that's the right one? I think it's the button that we're supposed to show. The fact that it was found in the Hakama. It doesn't make sense if he was wearing his standard racing outfit. It says, found in Engar's Hakama. Okay, so I think it's this one. It shouldn't have been found in his Hakama then, if he came out wearing his racing gear. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, I think I'm gonna present this one. Would it be this statement? No, I think it's this one. It's gotta be this one, right? So the button might not even be from his costume then. Yeah. Because if he came out of the room right away and he was the one that killed him, why is the button in his Akama instead of like his pockets of his racer jacket then? If that wasn't even what he wore when he went inside that room. How's like cousin Nickel Samurai doing? Hello, Sketch. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. He's doing okay so far, I think. We're defending him pretty okay. Dead, I'm afraid. No! Not Sketch's cousin! Dead will probably chill. No! I thank you so much for the hydrate sacrifice I sip. I'm sorry about your cousin. I'm sorry about the Nickel Samurai. I heard the news. Thanksgiving this year is gonna be awkward. No! You guys leave like a little seat in memory of cousin Nickel Samurai. We truly, it was so unexpected. Feels bad, man. Aren't they all? It's extra awkward this year. What if the Nickel Samurai was like the most talkative one there, and He feels like he knows how to talk to people, you know? So what if the Thanksgiving meals were like less awkward because he was there to carry the conversation, but everybody else in the family gathering is like super introverted, so when he's gone, everyone's just kind of like staring at each other awkwardly. We met Smat Angard. Sometimes you can still hear his voice. But thanks for redeeming the bad dad joke, Caleb. Let's see. It feels bad, man. I will keep thinking of one. Oh, I thought of one! What would you call Old Bag if she was like a mint condition luxury bag that was made a while ago? Vintage bag. She's vintage because she's designer. But I hope you like that one. For Steel Samurai, now Nickel Samurai, and Penny. No, not all the cousins. Well, the Steel Samurai's not gone, technically dead. He's retired. He's moved on to greater things. Just recasted. We have someone else carrying on his legacy now.
Don't say my name for no reason.
Do you know what this is?
Ah, it's button number 2 on Jammin' Ninja's costume.
Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance. And she knows what button number it is.
Give it here, give it here. If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this.
Wow, she really is a die-hard fan to want a button covered in blood.
It's got my precious corridors, my precious wine corridors blood on it. It's priceless.
It's a rollover! No! I don't think you can recast the family tree. You just pick up the next Steel Samurai and be like, okay, so you're part of our family now. We will officially adopt you. It's like, wait, but I have my own family. No, but we need another Nickel Samurai to replace at our Thanksgiving family meals. We're at the 300 points. Yay, I'm glad you liked it, Caleb. They never the buns forget it, never mind. So... I guess the count starts on the left then. So button 1, 2, 3, 4. She's labeling them like the coordinates.
See, that's button proves beyond a doubt. Beyond a shadow of doubt, it was that rascal Angard.
Just caught up in the pleats of his Nickel Samurai Hakama pants.
See, and Angard is the Nickel Samurai.
Witness. Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination. But just now, didn't you say that the defendant Matt Angard was wearing his usual racing jacket?
I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest dress, then maybe you'd think I was the most gorgeous woman inside to put up with wearing this ridiculous outfit that sounds hideous, for I've got a tape recorder stuck in my chest. Let me tell you, it's heavy, so heavy I wish we got such a CDs long ago, but I'm keeping that dream alive for all those kids out there. I work with a smile on my face, I understand. I take a look in the mirror, your clothes are about as interesting as a documentary on Carly should take a tip from Reggie, but he's got style.
Now hold your tongue still there for a moment. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Angard the man, but Mr. Angard the Nickel Samurai?
History repeats itself. Oh my gosh, this is like case 3 all over again. Oh, never mind. He's not dead. The family Thanksgiving meals are saved.
But when you think about it, they're really one and the same anyway.
No, it actually makes quite the difference.
Miss Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about.
Edgy Poo, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth considering.
Just say it's important and agree with me for a change.
Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
All right, if you insist.
I should be the one sighing, not you. Who I saw. Well, that's impressive, being able to keep up with old bags straight. It was a challenge. She talks so fast. honestly, she's doing well for someone her age. I just know she must, like, her lungs must still be doing really well. Sorry, I'm eating rice cakes. She speaks so fast, right? I can barely read what she's saying. Honestly, they should have created a log for this game, but the log only appears when Old Bag is the witness. So you can like go back and read what she actually said. But the minute she steps off the witness stand, the log just disappears. Riley's gonna drop a rap song cover soon. Hey, my name is the Blue Samurai, and I'm down by the police station, yo. I totally didn't witness anything with that case 5, bro. I agree.
I'm not 100% certain that you can move around switching costumes here and again, like in that case so long ago.
Yeah, like those outfits look like they probably take like 2 people to help you get out of. And it was what, like a 30-minute break? Can you get out of that costume and clean up all the blood and everything in 30 minutes? And then get back in your original outfit? That's a lot you can... That's like a lot to do in 30 minutes.
On guard, on guard. Yes, now I remember. Nickel Samurai, that's right, it was a Nickel Samurai I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume the other morning. Had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know,
But he didn't know about it.
so he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan.
I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume.
What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume?
Yeah, from case 3 there was.
Don't be a pal, little boy. Think such rude things.
But the possibility does exist.
Ah, youngins today, I told you there's no way it was anyone else.
How do you know that?
Because I said so. What I say is the truth.
At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Also, I just realized that Edward taps his left bicep with his right index finger when miffed, just like Velvet. And there's my tails of his area hyperfixation showing again.
Ooh! His left bicep with his right index finger. Book, book.
Also, isn't our client strictly the Jammin' Ninja and decidedly not the Nickel Samurai whatsoever? Other than what I said?
Yeah, our client is the Nickel Samurai. Actually, let me like save here, you know? This is like a good save point. We haven't gotten our health deducted just yet. Would you please get on with your testimony?
Huh? What's your tone, young man? What kind of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything. If you keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs.
No thanks. What? I can't believe she's gonna serenade us.
A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's the Nickel Samurai.
She's actually singing Someone Help My Poor Ears. Mr. Edwards, can you please do something about this racket? I love how everyone is just like looking at Edward like, please, you're the only one she listens to. Can you please tell her to stop? My ears are bleeding. Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to just the facts.
Okay, you promise, right?
Right, I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date. Why me? Remind me to send you a thank you note later too, Edgeworth, old chum. You little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not.
Not too long ago. Then let me ask you this. When you were itty bitty, what was your grand dream?
Huh?
What you wanted to be when you grew up, whippersnapper?
My dream, huh? Well, I wanted to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public court. So what?
See? Look where you are. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you? That's kind of whack, bro.
Well.
What I said earlier. Who puts any weight into things like that? Now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the best.
Oh, that's a very strange life lesson that you just pulled from that story. But okay, since when did the court become theatrics over testimonies?
All that matters is that man was inside that costume. Isn't that enough?
But how would you know it was the guy in the costume? You didn't see his face in there. Why would that be? I think honestly, being a samurai in the Ace Attorney world is like, it's the worst possible job. Like, you get fame, but also all the samurais keep getting accused of murder.
No way, no one could see his face, of course.
But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more.
You're such an annoying child. You know that? You disagree with everything I say.
Isn't that what you're always doing to me?
I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of that costume.
I think it's the post-stage ceremony that's the weird part. Is there anything else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show?
Well, all the contestants are supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing.
And that included the Jamming Ninja?
Of course it included him. That's why when On Guard came out of my dear Juan's room, I didn't give it a second thought.
I see.
Well, anyway.
So let me ask you one more time. The person you saw, it really was the Nickel Samurai?
I sure is ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning?
Can I throw in the towel yet? You don't need to think too hard on this one. Huh? It's a contradiction in our testimony, and it's sitting in plain sight. The question is what that contradiction means for us. Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay. Could be knife when said about the Nickel Samurai. Let's take a look at these. On guard, the Nickel Samurai, that's right, it was the Nickel Samurai. See, because the thing is, I would argue that he didn't have that weird post-ceremony stage show, because he didn't even know about it. But I don't see a piece of evidence here that says, apparently my defendant didn't know about it, so... It just seems like the Nickel Samurai is to confess something after the... Oh, after the post-ceremony stage show. Okay, so we're good here. It's not going to be the press conference ticket. So there was the post-conference, and then there was the confession thing after the post-ceremony show. So I guess this point is kind of more conjecture, so we'll see.
Okay, gotta go, but please save my cousin. See you next weekend. Oh, bye, Sketch. Take care, Elsa. See you. Good night. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'll do my best to save your cousin. You can count on me.
Oh, also Sketch. Oh my gosh. Next weekend, I actually have plans, so I won't be streaming next weekend. But I'll be back the weekend after, the weekend of the 17th and 18th. And we'll continue with Case 4 of Justice for All, and then the event for Honkai Star Rail. But I'll see you then! Bye, take care of yourself, see you, good night, and thank you so much for stopping by today!
Good night, everyone. Oh! Good night, CV. Take care of yourself. Sleep well. Good night, and thank you so much for stopping by today. Have a good rest. Good night. It's death sentence. Plus, you're still honor bound. This is why runners continue winning. So I hit this. I need to wake up earlier than usual tomorrow. Well, technically today because. Oh. Good luck with your stuff tomorrow. I hope it goes well for you tomorrow, CV. Good night. Sleep well. I thought we weren't doing this exact problem again. There literally is no photograph proof with the helmet on or something moving in the costume. All we have is the guy without the helmet and he's dead.
Right? It plays very similar to Case 3 in the first Ace Attorney game because she keeps insisting it's on guard in there, but like, how do you even tell it's on guard in there? Anyone could be that. Anyone. Like, the mask covers up the whole entire face, even the hair. So you really wouldn't know who's inside that. Somebody could be framing him. I'm gonna take a look at everything again. I need to see those words. Yeah, I'll pull them up right now, Alpha. Sorry, I had to answer everyone in chat first. Let's see. So, I'm gonna take a look at this from the beginning. Nickel Samurai, it would be convenient. He had to go to the show, so he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing Perquan. Now, the pieces of evidence we have are, that's not relevant, this isn't relevant, this also isn't relevant. Lara's camera seems like it's too early to present it. I feel like there's probably some point they'll make later on about like why it was stolen, you know, what's our objective to taking it back. This one's a little early. This one's not really relevant. This one isn't relevant. This one we presented earlier and isn't relevant right now. These are the reports. The thing that's interesting to me is the fact that everybody talks about the stabbing, but nobody's talking about the strangulation. If the strangulation was what actually killed him, then are we overlooking the strangulation? I'm gonna go back and take a look at all of these again. Disprove that statement. It seemed like she was just like trying to correct herself. It's not relevant enough that we need to like really use that statement, I feel. I'll see his face. It's probably the last statement. Okay, on guard, on guard. Okay, so we pressed on every one of these. Did you read the other one? You mean all the pieces of evidence or all the testimony? I pressed on all the testimony. I'm gonna look at the pieces of evidence again. There's water, fingerprints. This is a little too early. Presented that and that. Ceremony stage show right after the crime. All the word? Like for the testimony or the pieces of evidence? Okay, I'm gonna examine this a bit more. I took a little bit of a break earlier to get something. I had to handle something really quickly earlier, and then that kind of broke my in the zone. So I'm gonna try to get back into it. Let's see. Yeah, this statement does not mean anything to us. As the Nickel Samurai. See, the weird thing is she keeps saying, oh, he was in this outfit, and then this outfit. This is the weirdest part, but then it's like, do I have any piece of evidence that, like, because we already know she's contradicting herself. But I don't think that's something we nitpick over, because we already told her there was something weird about that discrepancy. The thing is, it's like, how do you mistaken the racer jacket for the samurai outfit? So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing for Juan. So that would explain why the ninja button fell into the hakama. It's a note hidden. I'm gonna check some caffeine. I felt like I was on to something and my brain died. Oh, okay. Okay. You had to go to the post-ceremony stage show after the crime. After the stage ceremony show, tabloid, the fingerprints, must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume. But then, if he was wearing that when he stabbed him, then why did he come out of the room with the racer jacket? But I don't know if we have a piece of evidence that really proves that, because we already proved that she's kind of mixing her facts up. There's the victim's blood and On Guard's fingerprints. Let me take a look at the costume again. Okay, so how would a bear... I think he was just using the knife to cut his steak, because this outfit has gloves on. So how could there be fingerprints if he used this outfit? Wouldn't the gloves prevent you from having fingerprints on there? He has it completely covered. So if that was like the murder weapon, and On Guard really did take it over, like, there shouldn't be any fingerprints on there. Unless it was, like, fingerprints from before, when he was eating the T-bone steak. See, the thing is, there's two pieces of evidence that could prove that train of thought. You can either say, well, the knife has his fingerprints, but if he was in the Steel Samurai costume, then he'd be wearing gloves. Or you can say, well, the Steel Samurai outfit has gloves on it, so where did the fingerprints come from? But she's not directly talking about the fingerprints right now, so I don't know if the Nickel Samurai picture will actually prove that specific point. I think that's the biggest lead so far, is the fact that if he was wearing that costume with the whole arm thing and then the glove, then it wouldn't have been possible for there to be fingerprints on there. That's probably the best one. And I guess the knife proves the fingerprint point a bit better than the Steel Samurai poster, because the Steel Samurai poster is proving the gloves. But then if I pressed on this statement, it would imply, yeah, well, that's what the Nickel Samurai costume looks like. What are you trying to prove? Because I don't think any of the other ones seem to really fit right now in the context of everything. This is for after the post-ceremony stage show, so it's a little less relevant at the moment. It's gotta be the knife. Yeah, I feel like if we're thinking about the fingerprints and the gloves, it has to be the knife, I think. So it's probably on this statement, but before I press, I will be doing a save. I really want to make sure I get this one right. Okay. Okay, cool. Please take a look at this.
Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work.
No, that's not my intention at all.
That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct?
Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case?
You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it.
But that wouldn't have happened if the guy was wearing gloves. Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I'm driving at.
What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving?
And Mr. Ongard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder. Then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off. Suspicious, suspicious.
Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he?
Well, maybe he did wear his gloves. But then that's counterintuitive, because if you're gonna commit a murder, wouldn't you keep the gloves on? He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off.
But the murder still did take place.
It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim.
Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory?
So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like, when the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory? Ooh. So when he went there first, he didn't have any intent.
Hey, hello, gamers. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. Let me do a shout out for you. Here we go. How are you?
Thank goodness you found the link. Yeah, when I saw the picture again, I was like, wait a second. Gloves? I'm glad we found it.
Hello, MT. How are you? Thank you so much for the raid. I'll do a shout out for you in a bit once the cooldown goes down. Hello, everyone. My name is Riley, and it's nice to meet you. We are currently playing Ace Attorney Justice for All right now. But we're currently working on Case 4, and we're working on the first trial day. And we're trying to prove that our defendant couldn't have been the one that killed the victim. But aside from Ace Attorney, I also play Honkai Star Rail, Pokemon games, Fire games, the Devil May Cry series, and the and the Yakuza series. But hi, how was your stream? What did you play today? I hope everyone's doing well. Doing good, just got done fighting some demons in Infernax. Ooh, nice! This is your first time playing the game? How's it going for you? Oh, thank you so much for the follow, MT Skeletor and Kichi Kid. Thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Let me see if the cooldown is down right now. 50 more seconds. I'll do another one in a bit. Second time playing doing the co-op with a friend. Oh, nice! It's co-op! Ooh. What do the demons look like? I got hot to bed, but have fun with Phoenix, right? Thank you, KG! Take care of yourself, stay well, good night, and thank you so much for stopping by today. I hope you have a good rest. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Kazuko. Thank you so much for the support, really appreciate it. Thank you. How are you? Hi, Unsaid friend, hello. Hello! I hope you had a lot of fun too! How was it? Okay, I think it should be good now.
Ah, 6 more seconds!
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Yes!
There we go!
Yippee! As an experience, some lag along the way, but a good time all around.
Ooh, I'm glad!
Scrolling on. You should shout them out first.
Oh. Sorry, I kind of do them in order, so I saw your username come up a little bit first, so I just did them in that order, but
Hopefully it's alright.
I'm gonna do a thing here. So right now, the prosecutor Edgeworth is saying that he thinks his theory is the defendant walked in to have a conversation with the victim, and at that point he didn't have the intent to kill, but because the victim and the defendant had bad blood between them, they could have gone into an argument, and then they could have fought a bit, and then he could have stabbed him. But then again, if he didn't have the intent to kill, then he wouldn't have brought a knife into that room in the first place. Because bringing the knife in proves that this is premeditated. But if he didn't have the intent to kill, he wouldn't even have brought his knife in. In fact, if he really needed to use a knife, he would have used the one that was already in that room. So I think that's the contradiction here. That doesn't make sense. Isn't the Bible aspect currently a little exaggerated by this point? Yeah, they're making it seem really, really bad. Like, oh, these guys argue, therefore he must be motivated to kill him.
Should probably be responsible and go to bed since I gotta be up in 5 hours. Dang, 5 hours! Oh my gosh! Sorry for the short stay time, so it's like,
Oh, no, you're okay, gamers.
take care of yourselves, sleep well, good night, and thank you so much for stopping by today. And have a good rest. And have fun with your thing tomorrow. Good night!
I think there's a contradiction. This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Oh no! 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 Don't take my 2 HP bars away! We will be doing a save. Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. OnGuard was the killer. Oh, this is Phoenix. Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. OnGuard was the killer, if that's the case. I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. Oh. We're supposed to prove that there's... Wait, what are we presenting? I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. Because the knife was the one that's in there, right? But I wouldn't be presenting the knife again, would I? Or is there another train of logic they want us to follow? Because my argument is this knife came from the other room. So in order for him to use that knife, he would have went in with intent then. I think the only picture we have is like the crime scene photo, and that doesn't really show the plate with a steak in it. Is it really just the knife again? You think there should have been more dialogue? Whereas, aw, darn. We made an assumption too soon. I think it's the positioning of the knife, honestly. Yes! Yes! I saw the thing like slowly slide away and I was like, yes! We did it! They're not taking points off our lives! This knife. This was used by Mr. OnGuard at dinner. Oh yeah, MT Quasi, did you guys play Ace Attorney before? And if so, what was your favorite case in the game? This knife, this was used by Mr. OnGuard at dinner. Yes, we did establish that. Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when we went to visit Mr. Corridor. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edwards, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. Ooh. And one more thing, if the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should have been glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
Order, order, I say. Order in the court. Was this knife really planted by the killer?
Oh no, 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 no! Another one!
Sometimes they throw you for a loop by stopping the music like you did it right at first, then sideswipe you last minute saying you're wrong, so you should keep that in mind.
I think that happened once in like the first game for me. I got so excited and then I was like, wait, why are they taking points off? I thought we were clear. I hope we're clear on this one.
Oh, I missed something. No, it's perfectly okay.
Oh, thank you, Auntie. Sorry.
I should have shouted out sooner.
Let's see. Why would the murderer do such a thing? It's gotta be to frame Matt Engard. Because if you wanted to hide the... I mean, it could be a little bit of both if you think about it. To hide the murder method. So that is one of the things, but that's not the main reason for him doing that. Because the main one per the autopsy report is he got suffocated. Then they stabbed him and that kind of like nailed it in. But it felt like the stab wasn't really necessary if they managed to suffocate him and that was the cause of death. So the fact that they decided to put that specific knife with all of Angard's prints in it, it has to be because they wanted to frame Matt Angard.
What's a pick? What's a pick? So I hate to read and run, but I should hop off for the night.
Oh, no, you're okay, Auntie. Thank you so much again for the raid. Have a wonderful stream. Thank you. Take care, Russell. Sleep well. Good night. And thank you so much again for the raid and for stopping by today. Have a good rest. Good night. Sleep well. Take care. And thank you so much again for the raid. Let's see. I think it's to frame that on guard, because, like, why specifically that knife? Oh no! Was it to hide the murder? That too! But I thought it'd be more direct to use that specific knife. It's to frame my client, Mr. OnGuard, of course. Wait, am I in the clear? Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? We just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Grrr! Witness? Looks like I made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy Poo? Okay, I guess we're in the clear. That one stayed for a little bit longer, and I was like, oh no. Grrr. Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai? Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Are you saying you mixed up Mr. Ongar with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV?
I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure.
She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then, who were you waiting for then?
That's top secret to anyone outside security.
It's gotta be about this magazine clipping.
You can feel Edward's stare.
He's just... long stare. A very long one.
Hello, Nia. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. How are you?
I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corridor. Am I correct, witness?
Ha ha ha, the way you think you're a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Amateur? What am I amateur of?
This old bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room, but it doesn't sound like she was waiting to classic glimpse of Mr. Corridor. Maybe Phoenix, maybe the old bag was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. This old bag? You were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? Who is this person? This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Ongar's manager. But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor. I see. Judge seems to be really into the article, if you can call such a thing. Then this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's Adrian Andrews? Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well.
Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I could throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then.
Witness, what in the world are you? Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. Very bad feeling.
I got some information, some very secret information from a certain source. That's why I was doing my own little investigation. Secret, of course.
Is she the one that stole the camera? Because the tabloid article was in the camera case. What for?
Just for myself, personal reasons and all that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here? I really don't want to do this, however, I cannot simply let this point slide. I see. Very well then, witness, please testify about this secret information.
Get ready, I'm gonna take the wind out of you youngins.
Sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old.
Ma'am, and I even love to call you ma'am at this point. You can't keep hiding things in court because you're a security of the hotel.
She's like, I can do what I want. I'm winning old bag head of security. 100%, man. Of course I could do what I want. Vanguard is one evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I can't condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and that's top secret, you got it? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay?
The defendant sent his manager? What a distasteful topic for this court.
What? Nobody's beloved gossip. And isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant?
Never heard that one before. Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person? We have looked into this matter, and found that the truth the article proposes is, in fact, baseless gossip. But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim. So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all. No, then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Be careful, this old bag seems rather excited right now.
That's right, Edgar is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth.
Well, as the old saying goes, you've got to burn old bags with fire. Oh goodness!
Time to fire.
Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. My brain is automatically going on old bag setting now.
That Vanguard is one evil man.
You can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander.
But it's true, that woman was getting into me with poor Juan. Look, it says so right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars, Mzee.
The name of the magazine this came from is Gossipland.
What? Are you saying that gossip is all just a pack of lies? What do you know? I suppose next you'll swear to me that the news is 100% true. Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip.
Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright. Discriminate? When did I do something like that?
Anyway, On Guard will never get me to say touche.
Lifetime supply of gum for however long you end up living for after this if you get it on with your sword details.
Bribing her with gum given by Edgeworth himself. I just know that bill's gonna be high. Scandal? What do you mean by that?
You're a dim-witted one, ain't ya? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what do they teach kids in middle school these days?
Internet safety? No, I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much.
Well, that Onguard thought he could own a monopoly on popularity.
You don't have any proof that Mr. Onguard did such a thing.
You must be suffering for shock. The shock of hearing the truth. And now, since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything right.
You're right, I can't do anything, but boy, do I wish I could do something about you. We gotta give her the gum, guys.
Alright then, Sonny, show me what you got. Can you show me proof that Onguard didn't build any?
Ooh, no. Do I have have to show it now, or can I get more info first? Show me proof that Ongar didn't bear any LOL towards Han. Not necessarily that he didn't bear any ill will, but more so that somebody else had more of a motive to get close to him. Don't have anything to offer.
See, just as I thought, you were lecturing me about saying things on proof. Just give me a free pass to say whatever I want, silly boy.
Me and my big mouth.
That's the way the cookie crumbles for you anyway.
Okay, so it's gotta be that point, but let me get some more information. So what do you mean by I took action?
Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once a slimy woman came out of Kwan's room, I was going to capture her, teach her a good lesson, something you youngins need.
Oh my gosh, is she admitting to, assault? You were going to teach her a good lesson?
I was going to make her eat the damaging beans of my ray gun. Like this.
No, stop!
Well, it was too bad that woman didn't come through the door that night.
Old bag, are you aware that that is a crime? Wait,
Why? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know the secret? Oh, how do you know?
Ah, well, that's because I'm a pro, because that's a secret.
Even if you drill the hole in my brain, you'll find out. Yeah, she stole the camera. How in the world did that old bat get such a secret piece of information? If you don't be a good girl and tell me where you got the secret information, you won't get to go home today.
Edgy-poo, what are you doing? Help me!
What do I have to do with this?
Just do this for me. You'll get your reward.
I don't want your reward, but you don't leave me much of a choice. The witness could have gotten her information from anywhere. It's even possible that it was spontaneously made up inside the witness's. She was just being delulu, guys. It's alright. And he lectures me on reckless babbling? As long as we don't know where this information came from, it's quite a waste of time to focus on this line of reasoning. Where will that get her inside information? Sounds like another tidbit of gossip, doesn't it? But you can't just ignore it either. It makes your client look bad either way. Well, I don't think I heard anything really out of the ordinary just now. Must be something we can catch her on. Yeah, and when I find it, I'm gonna press the heck out of it. It's gotta be that last statement, and I think we present evidence. I think she took the tabloid article from Lotta's camera, because Lotta said it mysteriously disappeared, and the tabloid article, this precise one, was found inside like the camera pocket or something. So the only way she would have known is if Lotta told her personally, which I don't think she did, or she got the camera. So I think we're going to present the camera. So, no one is supposed to know the secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Old Bag?
Why are you looking at me like that? Stop that.
Witness? I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire secret info, isn't it? Investigative photographer Lotta Hart. Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl. She reported that she had lost a certain note that she had written to herself. She reported such a thing? On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews.
What? Outrageous ideas, you say?
No, I said impressions.
Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely mis-
She's just admitting the theft. Oh my gosh. Ah, that's it. That's a note.
No! See, this is something completely different. It's my top secret list of groceries to buy.
Then you're the one who took Miss Hart's note?
I'm a huge fan of Juan, that's why. The infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working for that evil on guard. She said to herself, on guard, I'm the sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written. Edgy-poo, you believe me, don't you?
No, not particularly.
I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
Then who took the camera? So she took the paper, then who took the camera? Because the camera's still missing. It's gotta be the real perpetrator trying to hide it.
You really come up with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine.
Oh my gosh! He made the same joke that I made earlier! Same brain waves, Edward. Nah, she's not old bad guys, she's vintage.
Yeah, we had the camera from Lot of Heart.
No judge, no overlooking. No, we will, you know, she's got it, you know. There's consequences for theft. Oh, and also, Alpha, can you, let me figure it out for myself first, and then afterwards, when I'm closer to my answer, can I confirm it with you afterwards? Thank you.
Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we could overlook this just this once. She looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her?
Guys, are we forgiving her? Is this a day where we forgive Old Bag? But if we pile on more pressure, will we get more information? We could get more information. She could tell us she only took the note, and then we could be like, well, did you take the camera? And she'll be like, no, and then that could be a hint. Is this part relevant in any way? Guys, is this part relevant? Like, whether I forgive her or not? I want to be nice and say forgive her, but I also feel like if I pile on more pressure, I'll get more information. If I let her up now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness, you said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is that correct?
Oh, why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the long...
Oh, yeah! So now we get the information. So somebody else stole the camera. So Old Bag actually is not a thief.
I saved this piece of paper from the terrible lonely trash can, that's all.
You're lying. Dang it. I can prove it.
Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
Old Bag. I don't believe that the note was the only thing you stole that night. Ah, so it was good that we pressed her. That note was with the camera inside its case, wasn't it? Yes, it went away!
A camera?
Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, my sweetie, $1,600 camera disappeared on me.
Why, witness!
What is it, Gramps? I keep giving everyone the wrong voice. Old Bag got the Edgeworth voice for a second. If you have the note, then it's only logical that you have a camera too.
Yeah, looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for?
Dang it, Old Bag! I believed you there for a second. I can't believe you're guilty of theft, too. No forgiveness if she's withholding more evidence, like logically thinking.
Yeah, I was like, if we forgive her, I don't think she would have blabbed more. Ah, that's...
What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know? I still eat meals like you. I fall in love and borrow things from people.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Old Bag, but I don't borrow things from people like that. I think that just might be you.
I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said, Slimeback Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. When I saw that, I had to know what kind of pictures she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things.
Bailiff, check this camera's photos. Hurry! We must examine them at once.
Good to see you, Aurelia. Hello, Karama. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. Let me do a shout out for you. There we go. How are you? It's good to see you too. Oh, and thank you so much for the touch girl. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. How are you? I'm a little annoyed.
Yeah, she keeps going back on her word. Yeah, what the heck, Old Bag? She's committing all kinds of crimes here. Like framing somebody, misleading us, and now stealing something from someone.
Thank you for the shout out, of course.
There's only one photo that seems to be relevant in this case. Please present it to the court.
That's the Nickel Samurai.
See, I told you, that's the guy I saw.
Yeah, but you said he was in his red sports jacket earlier. This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. Well, she was before the last testimony. What does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photo by itself does not prove that the person is the defendant, however, and his own confession, Mr. Armor, clearly stated that. At the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. If that's the case, then this Nickel Samurai is the defendant. No way! How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright? The court will consider them before they close. Oh no, I'm scared. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client? Yeah, I don't think so. The Nickel Samurai here, his pants don't touch the floor. It's somebody else in here, see? Because the pants are too long. So that's somebody else. I should probably save right here. Your Honor, I'm calling Cap. The pants are all rolled up, so this guy is clearly shorter than Matt Ungard. Always appreciate it. I'm doing great. I got my final paper done in the summertime. Ooh, nice! Congrats on finishing your final paper. Enjoy your summer, Kurama. Do you have any plans for travel? I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Cranky crime committer. I'm only doing a masterful voice voicing all the dialogue, honestly. Oh, thank you, Kurama. Thank goodness we are safe now, guys. We are safe now. If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, then it would be Maya's life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took, there's... Yeah, the fact that the pants are on the ground. What if I say there's something strange about it and that's the answer? I think there's something strange. I think it's the pants. The pants are too long, actually. I feel like that's not the answer, but like the pants are too long. There's something strange with this photo. I do. This is coming right. Oh no. Should I get the other one? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth. I think we can all agree there's nothing strange with this photo. There's no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster. But the pants! The pants! The pants! Debunk with the bunker buster, is that what you're trying to do? Anyway, please look at the photo one more time. If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance. Uh-oh! I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Who the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts? Ooh, this is in front of his room. I remember the little bears and everything. Oh no! The full bar! Pants. I think it's the pants, guys.
I'm going abroad to Japan for a year next year, so
that's exciting. Oh, study abroad? Oh, that's so much fun! Are you doing like one class abroad? So does that mean you'll be staying with like a host family and everything? Oh my gosh, how fun! Are you going to be in like multiple parts of Japan or just like one part? It's gotta be his pants, so you have to be careful. Yeah, it's gotta be his pants! I think it's his pants! They're too long for him! Okay, but like for real, let's take a look. It's not just his pants, right? Oh, I can't look at the other evidence anymore. Dang it! So, the ponytail is here, yeah. His arm is here, so we can't see his other arm. He's in fact wearing his gloves. I honestly think the pants are the weirdest part. Because like, they catered it to this guy, right? Like, no way, like, you would cast some super big name Hollywood star and you can't even make the pants the right length for the guy, you know? It's gotta be that. Because the location is correct, because the bears are in front of the victim's room, and it does make a lot of sense. Because I remember the map layout, and then across from here was like the other guy's room. So this could have been him like leaving the crime scene. I think the pants are the weirdest part. Is it the pants? Is it? I would like to direct the court's attention to this one right here. What are you pointing at? His ankles? If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't. And everyone knows that seeing the Nickel Samurai's ankles are the most important part of the show. It's a trademark Nickel Samurai design.
I'm seeing a full schedule. I'm staying with the host family. I hope yes is.
Ooh, fun! Let me know if you want to zoom in here. I am okay. But thank you, Kurama. Actually, I would like you to have a lot of fun there. That's what you can do for me. You can have a lot of fun there and eat a lot of good food.
And enjoy yourself a lot when you're there.
Yep, nice, yay! I honestly thought that maybe the pants was like me overthinking it, because in case 3, I thought the pants were also a bit long, but the case they were proving was not like the pants were long, but rather he's like dragging his leg or something. So I was like, am I thinking too much into this again? I'll do my best, Aurelia. Have fun.
Wait, are you going to... Oh, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but are you staying like in like any of the big 3 places like Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka? Are you staying like more in like the countryside? I'm aggravated by this nonsense.
I can't believe it was the pants. That's crazy.
Oh, also, if you want food recommendations,
I do have a few food recommendations. I'll be around Kyoto and Osaka. Oh, fun! Okay, if you go to Kyoto, the tofu there is really good. You should have tofu when you're there. And there's a lot of really good matcha places there. And aside from like seeing the bamboo grove, I think there's this place called like Ninezuka, which is next to like this... Oh, I forgot what it's called. Is it Kiyomizudera? I think it's Kiyomizudera. But then it's really pretty, especially if you go during like sunset or sunrise. And then Ninezuka's like this whole street with like a bunch of shops and everything. And that's where the like I think they had that famous cherry blossom tree, but like it fell down a few years back, I think. But there's a lot of shopping you can do in that area, so it's super fun. Have you been? I've been there 3 times.
have we not talked about this? I'm taking notes.
Yes. Have a lot of fun. Also, if you happen to take the train to Tokyo, I've never actually been there because I didn't happen to get around to it, but there's apparently a really good carbonara udon place in Shibuya. And then I think at Shibuya Sakura Stage, they opened up this little like cafe that's known for their like they float their desserts on top of these plates on top of water. And the original one was in Kamakura, but they just opened up a Shibuya location. So if you're interested, it should be in that mall. So first it's a fake limp and now someone's very short at height. Yeah, I know Matt Ongar. He's taller than that. 3, well, I'm very interested. For me though, it was pretty much I stayed around the Tokyo. I did like I explored Kyoto quite a lot, but there's still some stuff that I still need to do there. I've been to Osaka, I think, like on all my trips. And then Tokyo's always fun. And yeah, I haven't been up north yet, but I'd like to go up north someday. Apparently, if you go up north, there's really good seafood. I want to have some seafood. Oh, also, if you're in Osaka, there's a marketplace there. There's also a marketplace in Kyoto, actually. In Kyoto, it's Nishiki Market, and then in Osaka, it's Kuromon Market, and also Dotonbori is always fun too. I really like how everything closes like super late in Dotonbori. Like, I think some of the noodle places close at like 1 a.m., and there's a Kura Sushi there that closes at like 12 a.m. So that if you spend a little too long in arcades, you can still go eat dinner. Guess really, did you do your note? He's like, no, it wasn't me. No, I wouldn't. I don't even know this guy. There's the motive. I'll let you know where I go when I work. Nishiki Market? Yep, Nishiki Market in Kyoto. There's also like it's like a long like street, and then there's like some stores, and then you can like get like fast food and stuff. Like not fast food fries, but kind of like the ones where you get like skewers and stuff, and then you eat it, and then you finish, and you toss your stuff there, and then you go. And then Kurumon Market, it's like less linear. It's like wider in a sense, but not as big as Nishiki Market. Nishiki's like one really, really long street, but then Kurumon's kind of like there's branches, and it's actually super close to Denden Town too, where like all the anime stuff is if you're interested. But if you go to any of the marketplaces, you should have seafood. There's also Tsukiji Market in Kyoto. If you're there, make sure you get some seared scallop, and then there's this really good like tamago place. I think for like 300 yen or something, you can get a sweet tamago stick, and it was so good, and it was so fluffy and soft. I'd like to go to the aquarium in Osaka for sure. Yes! Oh my gosh, you should! See the cute little like seals, the really round ones. Kurumon Market? Mm-hmm. Yeah, tamago eggs. That one's so good. They're so fluffy. If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't. Oh, also, you should also check out character cafes. If there's like a game or an anime you know is having an event, character cafes are really fun. And if you go, ordering drinks is a good strat because you get more coasters, more collectible coasters. Can I DM you later? And what does that mean? The costume person in this photo could not have been Mr. OnGuard. Yeah, he's too short. What is the meaning of this? I love whenever there's like an important like fact drop, the Steel Samurai song just starts playing. I hope one day I can listen to the Steel Samurai orchestrated live. That would be so peak. I need you to help me play for this. Unironic pun, jury's not out, that you didn't commit crime. No, but where's my motive? I didn't. See, doesn't the Steel Samurai outfit look really heavy? I don't think I'd be able to wear it without like, you know, kind of having bad posture. And in the picture, the guy has okay posture, so it couldn't have been me. See, look how straight his back is. My posture's really bad, actually. So, like, that can't be me. I'm shrimping. I wonder if you'd care to elaborate with actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nico Samurai's poster. Yeah, the poster! His ankles are showing! I was about to say his nickels are showing. Well, maybe his ankles are made of nickels. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama. His socks! You can see his socks! Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nico Samurai is clearly holding his hakama up just to walk. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Well, what is it? Edgeworth is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run along, as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack? Then I haven't damaged his case at all? Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not met on guard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. I figured it would come to this. What? Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not met on guard. In that case, who is this a photo of? Ooh, I actually don't know yet.
ironic punchers. Oops. Oops, I read that. Do you prefer Twitter or Discord DMs? Probably Discord. I'm more active on Discord. Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edward's attitude, don't you think?
Was there something that said the manager's? Yeah, Andrew's fingerprints. So it's gotta be Andrew's then. She's like the only one that went in there. It was actually Celeste Impacts back from the dead. What you should be focused on is Edward's attitude, don't you think? Yeah, why is he so calm?
Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph?
It's gotta be Adrian Andrews. Actually, guys, it was Lotta Hart. She was really trying to get those photos in, so she disguised herself to go in. I think it's gotta be Adrian Andrews.
Let me pull up the link for you, Kurama. Yeah, I think it's gotta be her. It couldn't be anyone else. Because the only person of, like, smaller stature I can think of is Lotta, but it doesn't make sense for Lotta to be in there.
Here we go. And the fact that her fingerprints were on there means she was in there.
Adrian Andrews? If you want to know who that nickel samurai is, it is none other than this woman.
And it would make sense because the outfit's like more accessible to her.
And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short. And she could freely move in and out of Mr. Onguard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Onguard that night. And how does that all add up? It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. The knife. A certain knife with Mr. Onguard's fingerprints all over it.
Why is she from him? I guess she's really desperate. She really wants to, like, get the guy. Even if it means that she has to sacrifice her client.
A knife that was used as a murder weapon. Why don't you just say what it is you want, right?
I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Corridor. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime.
Order, order, order. Looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development. Mr. Edward. Yes, Your Honor. This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony. Alright, this is it.
This is kind of bad for us.
Huh? Well, what do you mean?
Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness. It means that the trial will go on for another day. One more day? Ah! If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya...
Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to join the court.
Now then.
Please, Your Honor, continue the trial.
I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony.
Miss Edward's backing us up! Oh! He's like, we gotta get Maya out of here.
I abhor wasting such valuable time.
Edward?
Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial. But we can't continue due to this unexpected development. Unexpected development. I think you underestimate me, Your Honor. What do you mean by that? That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on.
What? So he already had her on standby. Oh my gosh, Edward's really reading his mind.
What is the meaning of the statement, Mr. Edward? Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby.
She is the next witness. Everything was planned out in advance by that man?
Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over.
This is the longest one-day trial ever, guys.
Exactly. Very well, we will continue to call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we should take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth.
This trial about to be a 9 to 5.
The court will now take a 10-minute recess.
Ooh. It makes little to no sense of her not being the one. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much for the Hydro Flame Master. Yes, I would like to save my progress. Edgeworth! Yippee! He's got our facts for real. That was his big plan. Wow. Yeah, he was like, Maya, I'm in it too for Maya. We gotta save her. Dude, I can't believe that Adrian. No way. Not cool and collected Adrian Andrews. She's your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her. So after the ceremony during the break, huh? Sleeping like a log the entire time. See, she could have also easily planted that blood cover button in your hakama. Because she was the one that came to wake me up? Then, dude, you're saying it really was her? Ah, she's the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Corridor. But why? I thought she was buds with Juan. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? What are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today. Give me a verdict that's as refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Laura, dude? Phoenix, you think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right? Yes, Miss Andrews depends on Miss Impact's as her strength and reason to live. But then Miss Impact suddenly killed herself. It sounds like she left a suicide note, and the person thought to have hidden it. Is Juan Corridor the victim of this murder? And that's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Corridor. All to get the suicide note back. That sounds plausible. But one thing bothers me. What? Who was it that first told us about her relationship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Miss Impact's. It was Hedgeworth. Looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet. Doesn't know anything about anything. Literally only Phoenix and Pro really know the full details presently. Yeah. This guy's like, dude, I can't believe she would do that. That's crazy, dude.
Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please. The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Corridor's room.
You see, I wonder what's the significance of that card, though, because Maya also found that card, and that's how she was able to escape.
What is your occupation? I am the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt Engard. I see. Now then, before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request. Yeah, sure. What is it? I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing, and would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently. No, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossipland. Judge was ever a prosecution witness. You do all my work for me. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation to the victim.
Yes, I was seeing Mr. Corridor. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But this was a private matter between Juan and myself.
So it was a fry and bait matter. Or was that a bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing.
But I didn't kill him.
No one is accusing you of that.
I think there's someone who would beg to differ.
I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews. Very well then. Witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place.
It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room. And then there was his dead body. I was in shock.
What
What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice.
So she really was having low blood sugar? Oh my gosh! You poured yourself a glass of juice?
Yes, sadly, I don't remember not to touch things at the scene of a crime. I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing.
And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Phoenix, she is one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match. Yes, I know. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing.
Disrupt her pacing?
She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking, so you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up your offense is the instant this trial is over. Understand?
So, I'm gonna press her on every single statement then? Yeah, can we talk about the wine glass? That's a little strange. The fact that the first thing she did was not call 911 but pour herself a glass of juice. I don't know about that one, guys.
It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room.
And what was Mr. Ongar doing at the time?
He was taking a nap. He was sworn out from his mini performance as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony.
Mr. Ongar did say he was taking a nap. Then I guess you could say it could not have been taken out of his room, yes?
Excuse me, Kit?
What are you... Right, I thought years of school would have taught you how to construct a sentence. If you can't make a sensible sentence with a subject, then I'll make one for you. Watch. Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Mr. Ongar's knife from his room?
No.
Subject, verb, object, right. Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue. She knows what I mean!
After that, I went to Juan's room.
And why did you do that?
As a friendly gesture, Juan was to make an appearance with the other heroes.
So the show was supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? Is that the only reason?
I beg your pardon? What are you implying?
You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? So perhaps you had a more personal matter to discuss with the victim?
Sorry, but I didn't have any such intentions in mind at that time.
Can't get her to talk without a strong piece of evidence, I guess. Ooh, that's when we present the thing, but let me press on every single other statement first. You were in shock.
What? Was I not supposed to be?
Miss Andrews is a very calculating person, and despite how close they were, I thought she had romantic feelings for Mr. Carter. Anyone randomly stumbling across a dead body would be in shock, and you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked. Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not. I see. Not you too, Edgeworth. This is the photo you're referring to, correct?
Yes, the one with the knife lodged in his chest.
And the guitar case was like that too?
Yes, it was open and empty, of course.
And then, what did you do next with this? Weird that the water is on top of the guitar case, but not on the inside. Juice.
Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself.
But you didn't drink any of it, did you?
Huh?
There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it.
I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it.
Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body upon quarter, you were in great shock, and that's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct?
And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at that time.
Your mind was a complete blank. I didn't think that was possible for you.
Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing.
What one thing?
Never mind. It's no big deal.
What was she starting to say just now? Miss Andrews, I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was. Actually, so would I.
I'm sorry. It's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over.
So, the flower vase wasn't knocked over when he was struggling, when that happened. So she's the one that knocked the flower vase over. then she's also got to be the one that tampered with the guitar case because it's only on the top.
Flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? That mess of glass shards?
It was originally on top of the dresser, but when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case.
Onto, but not into. Why did you withhold such an important piece of information?
I'm sorry. I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess.
Suspicious, suspicious. Looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony.
I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else.
What kind of flower vase was it?
It was a glass vase, and it was fairly big and heavy. I thought I would try to take Juan's pulse, so I set the glass I was holding down on the dresser, and that's when my elbow accidentally hit the vase.
That's odd. I thought she was always in total control of herself.
That's what you would like people to think. Always be mindful of the gap between your perception and reality.
Doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradictions in her testimony just now.
I warned you earlier that she would not crack so easily. The only way to make her is to
keep on the offensive and not let up.
The only way you're going to catch her is with some strong, decisive evidence. I have to find something. I just have to for my sake.
So it's gotta be that one statement then. Was it this statement? No, it's gotta be the one before that, I think. Yeah, it's gotta be this one, and then I gotta show her history. Feels bad. She was like, please don't show it, but we gotta. Yeah, it's gotta be this statement. Let me review what she says again. She says it's for a show of friendship. That she went to his room. You had a goal when you first approached him. That is true. It's gotta be the report. I think the guitar case is definitely suspicious here because there's some water but only on top of the lid. But she says she spilled onto it, so that implies the guitar case was closed. But why is it open then? So there has to be something where somebody like opened up the case. But I think I want to press here first to try to get more information. There might be two pieces of evidence I need to present here. Oh, wait. But I thought we were showing why she would go into that room. Is it too early? Oh, I guess so. They were like, what's the strong, decisive evidence? Maybe that's a hint that it needs to come later. Maybe I need to do like this point first and then go back? That's the one who knocked the guitar case over where it fell onto the guitar case. I don't think it fell onto if it was open. Yeah, it's only on top of the lid. So this last statement is probably the one we need to press on then if we use the other train of logic. And then it fell over. Yeah, so I think it's gotta be the guitar case. Then why is the guitar case only the water on top of the lid and not on the inside? We've seen the crime scene photo already, so I don't think presenting that would help. I think presenting the guitar case is probably the better bet for us. I think you did it early? Ah, okay. Thank you, Alpha. So I guess I have to present this guitar case first, then she'll kind of like double down. Then I'll hit that one statement again, and maybe that statement will change a little bit. And then I'll say, actually, you wanted to find that note from your mentor. Okay, cool. It was the guitar case. you testified that you knocked the fire vase over. Is that correct? Yes. And you're sure it fell onto the guitar case? Is there any problem with what I said? It's not some problem. It's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that were true, the key should have gone wet on the inside, not the outside. Yeah, it's a little suspicious. That's very true. Furthermore, there's one other strange thing about this guitar case. And what is that? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. And if they were scattered on the floor and not inside the case, that implies that when the vase fell over, the guitar case was closed, because if not, there would be shards inside of the guitar case. The guitar case was open when the vase fell. The glass shard should be inside, not outside the case. What is your point, right? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over? Is that all? No, think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case, but apparently she did. But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on this case at all. That may very well be, however. The empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, doesn't it? It does seem that there's no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case? Now, there's gotta be something. The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle. Heh, I can't believe anyone will reach for straws like this. But it is you. Can't believe I'm doing this either. Alright, I'll follow along for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case. Yes, Your Honor. I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after the vase knocked over. Because there was water, so you were trying to get the water off, right? It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As to why I opened the case, even I don't know. That's not very helpful. You don't know why? Seems like this really wasn't a very important point. This wakefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that I'm almost comforted. Anyway, let's just go ahead and start the cross-examination. Using anyway to change the topic. A convenient escape for a weak man. The guitar case. During your testimony just now, did you remember those events clearly in your mind? Well, you see. Are you sure you're the one who opened the guitar case? She's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not. Sounds like her dependent side is taking over. Well, Miss Andrews? Yes, it was me. So, you opened the guitar case then? Yes, well, maybe. Why did you open the guitar case? Huh? Miss Corridor's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it? I would think that the first thing you would do is call for help, not open a guitar case. I thought so too, man. As the witness has said multiple times when she found the dead body, she was dazed. Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was alright or not. Over the guy that just died? Okay. I thought maybe the criminals took it. I wish you care about the bright red guitar. But anyway, getting back on topic. You know why she took the guitar case? She wanted to see if the note from her mentor was hidden in that guitar case inside the guitar. But getting back on topic. Was it really empty? I was just wondering if maybe when you opened the case, the guitar was still inside. How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? Have a little professionalism. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. These trials would be over in half the time if we just pay attention. Yes, pay more attention, Mr. Wright. Sorry. I like that idea. Ooh, am I cooking? Am I cooking, Crania? Ooh. Was that because you were shocked and dazed at discovering the victim's body? Yes, that's probably it. Yeah, I'm not buying that. I'm not going to get anywhere if I continue pressing her like this. The only way to make her talk is with evidence.
Come on, Phoenix, we can't afford to let her up now. I wasn't planning on letting up, but she's at her weakness now, so this is our chance. Yeah, if we had a weapon to hit her with. I'm sure a weapon is hiding somewhere in the court record, waiting to be found.
Oh, I know why she did. Is that the statement? Because this is an opinion. Okay, okay. I think it's this thing. Oopsie, I did not mean to press her there. Be confident. I think it's the last statement. She does know, actually. So, you did that because you wanted to find the note. Is it time to present the note now? I feel like that would be the best piece of evidence to present right now. There's nothing else really, because like, this stuff isn't really relevant. So it's gotta be the note. That's the only one. I'm gonna save anyway though, but I think it's the note. Oh, is it not? Oh no, it's not! But Your Honor, I proposed a possibility. Too early still? Ah! It's always rough when you do Ace Attorney cases and you already found it out. And you keep trying to present it. But they're like, no, there's 2 more steps you gotta take before then. Okay, I will simplify it then. I gotta make my way to it. You'll give me a little hint as to why I opened the case. Okay, let me look at the court record again. Something the Jammin' Ninja uses. His guitar? Jammin' Ninja uses his guitar. Oh my gosh, is that really the thing? Where I have to argue, you open the case because you wanted the guitar. Now why did you want the guitar? Because the note was in the guitar. Is that what they want me to do? The note was in the guitar. Do I have a picture of the Jammin' Ninja? Do I have a picture of that guitar? I don't know if I have a picture of that guitar. Magazine clipping. Hotel guide map. Where was your guitar, sir? So actually I'm gonna present the guitar case again to prove the guitar. Yeah, I don't have a guitar case or a picture of the Jammin' Ninja here. Because you wouldn't open the case to rip the Jammin' Ninja's button off, though. Because you could just rip it off there. And then, if you wanted to plant it on guard, you wouldn't hide it in the case. Check the words. Oh, like the testimony words or the descriptions of the evidence? No, there's something else first before he used it, what he opened first. Before he uses his guitar, what does he open first? Is that what you mean? Oh, on the testimony. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the base over. The case is empty after all. The thing is, though... The thing is, though, like... Why would you open the case if you suspected it's empty? The testimony. So I think it has to do with the guitar, right? So we've established that we want to prove that she was looking for the guitar, and the reason why she's looking for the guitar is we'll prove later she wanted to find that note. Let me go through her testimony again and see which point we can nitpick the most. During your testimony, do you remember those events? No, I forgot. I was in a daze. I suppose I was the one waiting. She opened it, and then you opened the guitar case then. Yeah, well maybe. Why did you open it? Yeah. Is it this statement? Because we're like, dude, why would you open that? Yeah, why? Oh, I see. Why would she care about the guitar? Ooh, yeah. That's kind of a follow-up. But the statement itself doesn't really allude to much, does it? But it's the follow-up that's pretty good. Yeah, this one's not very helpful. That's just them roasting him. I guess here we cannot present just yet. So it has to be that statement. I think that was the statement she talked the most in. I suppose it was after I knocked the vase over. But the statement, like, by itself doesn't seem like it alludes to anything. As to why she opened up the case, we know she was looking for the guitar, but that might be true. Yeah, he opened the guitar case and he plays the music, right? So, is it the statement then? Because this is the one where she had the best follow-up to it. The other one, she didn't really follow up to it. So I guess if I had to watch the testimony, it should be the statement then. And it should be the guitar case. But the statement by itself doesn't really prove anything. Because this statement is just said, I guess I must have opened it after I knocked the vase over. The statement at face value isn't wrong though. But we don't have the actual guitar as a piece of evidence, so is it the guitar case again? I feel like it might be the guitar case again. Suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. Did I save before this? Is that the statement? Oh, it is the statement. Nice! I guess that was the follow-up that mattered a bit more. Huh. Interesting. Okay. There was no way you were the one who opened the guitar case. Why would you say that? It's elementary, my dear. It's elementary, my dear Watson. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are the victims. Right! Oh my gosh, right! Right! It only has his fingerprints! No, actually, she could have opened it up. If she was wearing the Nickel Samurai costume. Ah. What is this, Miss Andrews? Shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case. What do you mean? What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at that time? Girl, you are landing yourself in hot water. Girl, you're making your situation worse. You're just proving that you're the Nickel Samurai now. Gloves, why would you be wearing gloves at that time? It was the night of the award ceremony. Of course, I dressed up for the occasion. Or you dressed up for this occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves. Now you remember? I see. Well, Mr. Wright just seems the witness was wearing gloves. That's strange. You're wearing gloves. Isn't that a little strange? Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time? Oh no, I didn't mean it like that. I meant it's strange because the Steel Samurai is wearing it. Oh. That was not the train of logic I wanted to follow. Will I get deducted? If not, I'll go back. No, I was trying to prove it's strange because he has gloves. I think it's time for you to go home now, right? Before you hurt yourself, that is. Hurt myself? Yes, you must get deductions. I guess I was trying a little too hard there. Oh, we don't get deducted. Okay. Yay! We didn't lose any lives! We had to go back here. Crazy still have fingerprint if someone opened it. Yeah, if there wasn't any fingerprints aside from the victims, it must mean, like she says right now, she was wearing gloves. And who was wearing gloves? Who came out of his room? The Nickel Samurai. Not the samurai as the murderer again, but somebody else in there. You shouldn't assume. I was was wearing gloves. I was fancy. It was kind of cold in that room, too. I guess so. And I guess that makes sense. You're the epitome of a half-baked idea. Brain must be used not to look pretty for med students carving cadavers. Looks like I need to make my thoughts just a little longer. What? So either one doesn't work? What? What? Okay, so in that case, if saying there's nothing strange about that, it's gotta be the other one, because the other one gives me the option to present something. So in that case, maybe that was the way to progress the testimony, but I clicked the wrong one. So I'm gonna try again and say there was something strange. Because the logic I'm thinking of right now is it's strange because the steel samurai, or rather the nickel samurai costume has gloves, therefore that is a possibility for her to not leave her prints. It's elementary, my dear Watson. Yeah, but if she had gloves on, so we have to prove that the gloves are an issue. She's saying she was wearing gloves, so I guess in this case we have to prove. Oh, I see. That is strange. Because if you were wearing gloves, then why are your fingerprints on the glass? Why are your fingerprints on the glass? So you were like wearing the gloves and you went and then you held the thing and then you put the gloves back on just to touch the guitar case? That's a little bit inconvenient. Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove? I have your proof right here, this wine glass. The wine glass. You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Ah. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it's a little strange to put it back on? Had you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? Oh! Oh my gosh, she had another spare... she had a spare glasses! She came prepared. She was like, I just know I'm gonna have an Ace Attorney breakdown. Order. Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time. What do you mean? I believe this guitar case plays a very important role here. But it's just an empty case. I wonder if it really was empty, though. With the rubber guitar was at the studio. But she didn't know it was at the studio, so she wanted to open it up to see if the note was in there. And then she was like, oh, never mind, it's not in there, shoot. Phoenix, drop all your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Wait, that's not right either. I admit it'd be unnatural for someone to do that, so the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on this case, Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us all into its misguided... No, Your Honor, please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the face fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I am sure this guitar case had some relation to the murder. If you are so sure, right, then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Please enlighten us just why this guitar case had anything at all to do with this murder. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case. Bright red guitar not being the only thing. You don't mean to suggest... Wait, did he say the bright black guitar? Oh, so actually his guitar wasn't red, guys. Kinda crazy. Yo, case 2 more? Really great case. Yeah, it's really fun so far.
Hello, Tranquil. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. How are you doing? See, that's what I said. If she wore gloves, then how she have a fingerprint on the line? Yeah, it's a little strange unless she was deliberately trying to do some framing here. Hello, Kevin. How are you? Thanks for stopping by today. Let me do a shout out for you. There we go. How are you?
We are working on the case right now. It's a really long day one. We were about to suspend the trial, and then Edgeworth is a homie, so he was like, no, I hate wasting time. Let's keep going. So you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty, is that right? Is that right? I wouldn't say something I don't intend to prove. Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Oh, only one. Now then, let's have it. What was inside this case at the time of the murder? Oh my gosh, guys! Caseception! It was the guitar case inside the guitar case! Oh! It was a guitar case inside a guitar case inside another guitar case inside another guitar case. This is the Matryoshka dolls of guitar cases. And at the very bottom, there's just a little sticky note that says, haha, joke's on you. What was inside the case at the time? I believe it was the note. But can we say the note from the report? It's a little bit direct. That's the only thing it really could be. It was a picture of the crime scene! Whoa! Nice! And why would something like that be inside a guitar case, let alone this one? Why, Mr. Wright, why? Well... Oh no! Is it wrong? And they just paused it for a second? I just thought it might have been possible. I have a suggestion. Why don't you put that in the void where your brain is supposed to be? Yes, never bring it out again! Ah! I didn't save you for this one. It's okay. Can't a foolishly foolish fool get some love? I missed fun karma already. Do you still think you can prove your theory? Can you prove that the guitar case was not empty at the time of the murder? I thought the description was enough. It was actually Maya's Nakatama. Kinda crazy. Where did the press conference ticket? We got that from the other guy. Crime photo. So it was actually the autopsy report. What was inside the case? It was my attorney's badge. I don't think it's the Nickel Samurai poster. Maya gave this to me. And that was really early on in the case. That wasn't a crime scene photo. Not these, not these. Not a map. Not that. Should not be this. It was ripped off his costume. Is it really not the note? Is it too early to say the note? What was inside at the time of the murder? Oh my gosh, it was actually Maya Fey. That's crazy. I really thought it was the note. So if it's not the note, what is it? It's gotta be some kind of blackmail, maybe. If it's not the note, it's blackmail. Wait, how did we get the picture of the Nickel Samurai? I don't remember. Did Maya just straight up have it like lying around? She just gave it to us? You know what'd be crazy? If the radio transceiver was there, and then she was also in on the whole thing. Because she does have that really suspicious card, and she said she found it in her pocket. So that's a little suspicious. But that's kind of like just a guess from the ballpark, you know? Like, I have no idea if that's something we could prove. We're gonna Assassin uses the name The Killer. One who's trying to get arrested, I guess. Thank you so much for the sushi, Kevin. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Don't overthink. Don't overthink. Is it really just the poster? Like, he was just touring and then he was like signing this poster for some kid? Because it can't be anything else, you know? If there's not the note. I think this is one of those like Phoenix Wright is cooking and I have no idea why he's cooking kind of things. So I guess if Maya really likes it, it's gotta be the Nickel Samurai. What? What? it. Wait, how did Maya get it? Do you guys remember how she got it? I just remember she just handed it to us and she was like, oh my gosh, Nick, you're so not in the times. Here, look at this. That's just how Phoenix works. He somehow busts his way to the church. He was like, alright, which piece of evidence have I not used in the court record yet? Ah, the poster Maya gave us. This one gives off the same energy as, yeah, let's use the metal detector. On Von Karma's arm. This is a photograph. Yes, but what's important is what is in that picture, Your Honor. In this picture, it doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I'm proposing is... What? What? Huh? What? It was his costume? His second costume? What? It takes Phoenix Wright to think of something like this. But I guess it makes sense, because then that explains why she came out in the outfit, and it looked like she went in, but Ungard left. But why would he have the costume? I thought maybe she just like put it in her bag or something, you know? Like maybe because she's his manager, he had a spare lying around, and she put it in her bag, and then she went and she killed the guy, and she came out and she's like, time to frame my guy, and then she put on the outfit, and then she walked out. I don't even, oh my gosh. Tell me the guy who wants to press on the guitar keys. That's some good design right there, like, maybe using some, compression bags, I guess? Yeah, Edward is like, what? Me too, Edward, me too. I have no idea what Phoenix Wright's cooking. Wow, even the wig! Wow, that's some great packing skills. I gotta hire that person to pack my luggages when I come back from my Japan trips. Can you please get it under like a certain kilogram amount, please? But like, make sure like my plushies don't take up most of my luggage space. You got it, the guy that packed the steel samurai costume inside the guitar case said. We were so close to getting full HP. I was trying to help. Thank you for helping, Alpha. Yeah, we're so close. It's okay. As long as we don't die, we'll be alright. I forgot to save before that first one, but I'm glad it was like a 1 HP decrease one instead of like a 5. I'm gonna wait for a little bit when I take care of some training for my workplace. No worries, Kevin. Thank you so much for the lurk. And good luck with your